Prescott, Julie Prescott. I'm a photographer with Life magazine.
Is this it?
That's it. I'll make a routine appearance in court. But to all intents and purposes, you are divorced.
Wes, it's Rudy.
Hey, how you doing?
Why don't you come on down? Hop the train.
I like that. Only, I've got this math exam tomorrow, and I've got to put in a little more studying.
Meaning you haven't cracked the book.
Yeah, right.
It's a lead pipe cinch that the next man in the White House is going to be a Republican. And it's going to be Nixon. I've got it all staked out for you to be his key speaker in New York State.
Marsh, I'm quitting politics. Those crazy days in college when we were rooming together. Just getting drunk and chasing the chickies around, huh?
You know, when you kept me from moving up in the office that time, I got pretty teed off about it, but I think you actually ended up doing me a favor.
He's doing beautifully. In charge of all Daddy's affairs in the Southwest.
We're in trouble. Within the past 6 months, 3 of our operations have collapsed. I only know the answer is somewhere under that mountain of paper on my desk.
All right, fellows. A few announcements. Now, Mrs. Martindale will be giving her annual tea for the seniors at our home on Friday at 5.
Wesley, if it's any comfort to you, I can assure you that this is not the first time I have seen an undressed male.
Hello, Duncan.
Rudy. What's the news from Washington?
Have you checked your back lately?
What do you mean?
There might be a knife in it. That trouble your electronics firm has run into.
What'd you find out?
The Army's raising holy hell. They're screaming for that missile targeting system Wesco developed for them.
Well, I understand we've had some shipping problems.
The stuff was supposed to start arriving in Vietnam last month.
I know.
It hasn't.
I know.
I got on to the shipping people. I found out the equipment left San Francisco right on schedule. They've got manifests to prove it.
Well, what's the problem?
It was unloaded at Cameron Bay. After that, it just vanished.
What do you mean, vanished? You mean disappeared, stolen?
The Army's not sure.
There's not much we can do about it, is there?
That contract is Wesco's major source of profit. You've lost 3 companies already. You want to lose another? Doesn't it strike you as peculiar? Things are going along fine. All of a sudden, everywhere you look, the roof starts to cave in. Duncan, are you just going to stand there and take it?
I've got to go back into the hospital tomorrow morning for some more tests. And there's nothing I can do about it.
Well, you can send somebody over there to find out what the hell is going on.
All right, I'll find somebody.
Duncan, you've got somebody. Me. 6 of us from the Senate are going over to Vietnam on a fact-finding mission. While I'm over there, I'll get into it.
You know, Rudy, I was looking forward to having you around again. I want somebody to talk to.
Duncan, are you all right?
You ever think about dying?
Oh, not much. I did when my brother was killed.
Well, I do. I think about it a lot. And frankly, it scares hell out of me.
You. You'll outlive us all. No records at all of shipments from Wesco.
I went through the sheets, nothing. Believe me, if it came in here, I'd know about it.
And I'm telling you that stuff didn't just vanish into thin air.
Sir.
You don't know, no. Where'd you next? You tell me, Hanshaw. For a week now, you've been driving me back and forth, watching me get the runaround. Guys out there are dying. Back here, it's all con games and corruption. Selling stuff on the black market, grabbing for payoffs. You wear a combat infantry badge. You saw action, and what? You figure you paid your dues, you're off the hook? If the poor bastard's still out there getting sold down the river, then it's none of your business, right? Is that it, Henshaw? Is that the way it works? Clothing, a medical supply, something you can sell on the black market. You didn't check it off on your list when it came in. Why?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Okay, we'll do it the hard way.
A guy gave me $500 to see this stuff disappeared.
A guy? What guy?
I don't remember his name. Mongo. His name was Mongo. Last I heard, he went back to the States. When I met him, he was a shipping agency down Cameron Bay.
Who for? Vogel, who for?
An outfit called Tricor.
Billy? Billy! Oh.
Hello, Mother. Well, if you'll just come this way, madam, I have a perfectly splendid table for two. You care for a drink? Margarita's the house specialty.
Iced tea will be fine.
One big M and iced tea.
Look at you. Let me look at you. I'd like to have a hug. Can I have a hug?
You're kidding. When were we ever on a hugging basis?
Well, maybe now's the time to start. Oh, you won't believe what happened today. I ran into Rudy out here.
It's Old Home Week.
Sergeant, how come you got officers' club privileges?
I help run the place. Make sure there's plenty of sirloin steaks, country music in the jukebox.
Provide the brass a little home away from home so they can pretend they never left Kansas City.
Yeah, you got it. So, how are things in the foreign correspondent business?
Well, I just got back from the Outrang Valley. A bunch of poor, bewildered GIs trying to hold maker of hell in the middle of nowhere.
You've seen more of the war than I have. But then I still have high hopes of coming home to a hero's welcome.
Thank you.
I keep trying to find out if there's some medal they get for playing all the angles. You know? Hustling a fast buck. That bothers you? Yeah, well, right, you know. I'm a taker. But I come by it naturally. You never knew what it was to give.
Look, I know I wasn't much of a mother, Billy. And I'd give anything to be able to change that. But that's done. Billy, I'm not the same now. I know who I am. I like what I am.
Yay, team.
I love you. And I'd like to be a mother to you if you'll let me. But I won't be your victim.
You know, the first time I learned I could never depend on you, I had the measles. I was 6 or 7 years old. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you were out somewhere. And I'm lying in bed. I was scared, sick. I was waiting for you. I was praying for you to come home. Seems like a million years later, and I finally hear you come in. And there you are. You're standing in the doorway of my bedroom. But you don't come to me. You just stand there and you ask, am I all right? 7 years old I was. And I remember thinking, okay, right. Yeah, I know who you are. You're the lady who doesn't come in. You just stand there in the doorway.
Billy, that's...
It's the wrong time and the wrong place. Though your face is charming, it's the wrong face. It's not his face, but
Somehow the boogaloo doesn't do it for me. This is what I call dancing.
That place in the village where we used to go and they played all the old tunes.
Eddie Condon's.
That New Year's party, remember you played your trumpet?
Stardust. I don't think Harry James had too much to worry about.
Oh, don't put it down. It was beautiful.
You were beautiful. All the years we were together. I know they were nightmare parts, but I can't remember them.
We did have some lovely moments.
you can't know how happy I am that we met. I'm strangely attracted to you. There's someone I'm trying so hard.
Да. My hands are shaking. It's like when I was 15 and went to my first dance. It gets so complicated when you're married.
And so simple when you're not.
So, like, your talent is for singing, and mine's for spotting talent. What I'm going to be is a producer.
Far out.
Here we go. Step. Ooh. Yeah, I made all kinds of connections here. People who can open doors for me. What I'm going to get into, the record business.
That's where the bread is.
Yeah, and it's wide open, too. I mean, there are guys no older than me running $50 million companies. I'm going up. I don't care who I have to sweet talk or who I have to walk over.
Oh, you tough guy. So, what's on the agenda?
What would you like to be on the agenda?
That French place?
All right. And after that?
What would you like after that?
Thanks for the lift.
Senator Jordache. Yeah. This just came for you. Take my Jeep.
Julie? Julie?
How you doing, kiddo? You know, I walked out of that hotel room this morning, and I found myself thinking...
I know, so did I.
Maybe we didn't try hard enough. Hold me. I'm scared. Oh. Rudy, I know it was my fault about Tom. But I didn't mean to. I didn't know. I know. I'm Billy. Poor Billy. I gave him such a rough life. He didn't deserve that.
Hey, look. When we get back to the States, we're gonna spend some time together. We'll goof around like the old days. When we go to the Museum of Modern Art, see Charlie Chaplin movies.
You promised?
No, I promise.
Eat fettuccine at that joint on 9th Avenue.
The one in the back of the macaroni factory. All the cousins are waiters, and Grandpa does the cooking.
The first time we made love, remember?
That room at the Delmonico. Afterwards, you couldn't find your shoe.
No. Always. I do love you.
Billy. Billy. I'm sorry. Nobody knew where to get hold of you. But the last thing she talked about was you. She hoped we'd find a way to be friends. I don't know what your plans are. If you've even thought about what you're going to do when you get out of the Army. I'd just like to let you know that if you want to come to Whitby, that you have a welcome.
Come to Whitby. I don't believe you. I really don't believe you. I mean, man, you are incredible. The person I cared most about in this whole life, my father, and you wiped him out. You took my mother away from him.
What are you talking about?
You just walked into our lives with your big fat checkbook, offered my father a job, if he'd never see me again, or my mother. You think I don't know about that?
Billy, that's not the way it was.
I mean, you turned him into a nothing. When he cracked up in that car you gave him, that wasn't an accident. That was suicide. Now you want me to be friends? Well, you're out of your mind. Because I hate your guts.
Disgusting slut!
Hey, now, Mr. Martindale.
I'm sorry.
When I heard about Julie, I'm very sorry, Rudy.
Eddie. Took forever with these transcripts.
Oh, Rudy, I don't believe you've met Porter from my office. Rudy Jordache, Maggie Porter.
How do you do? Not bad. If I hadn't been watching for it, I wouldn't have noticed it.
What?
Oh, that look a client gets when he's expecting a male lawyer and Porter turns out to be me.
Shall we get down to it?
Excuse me. Now, those 3 companies that went under. In each case, the chief competition was the same. Tricor International.
Tricor?
Mm-hmm. Conglomerate comprised of 9 subsidiary companies, headquarters Dallas, Texas. Now, what I have here is one of a number of tapes of a private telephone conversation between a D.C. executive and a representative of Tricor.
What I want to know is
the exact date when Calderwood's boy are planning to take an option on that property.
You mean you want to know how fast you have to move to grab it out from under us? Well, hell yes, I can get you that. Oh, yeah, boy, I can fix it so she can knock our brains out.
That's right, your old pal Brad's the one that sold D.C. down the river. Why? Was to keep me from cutting myself in on a big deal.
Loyalty, family, friendship.
Oh, now hold on there, buddy boy. You got a hell of a nerve to be talking about loyalty and friendship. You know, Duncan Calderwood, the Gold Dust twins, sitting back there in the east, piling up all the dough.
You haven't done too badly.
Sitting up there all cozy and tight together playing God. The old man says,
I wonder if this Brad Knight's got the stuff to run the company. What do you think, Rudy? And you say,
who, that dumb redneck? And I end up messing around down here in the weeds.
Tell me, Brad, what do you get out of it?
I get plenty. DC stockholders meeting, there's going to be a motion to sell the whole lock, stock, and barrel of it over to Tricor. And you can bet your bottom dollar it's going to pass. Go ask your old girlfriend, Virginia.
What's Virginia got to do with it?
Her daddy dies, and she inherits all the stock and gets a voting majority, and I think, well, probably, yeah, it's probably already happened by now.
Who are you talking about?
Old man's got leukemia. We got a call here at 2 o'clock in the morning, and doctors don't give him but 2-3 hours to live.
Duncan. Duncan, can you hear me?
It's good to see you. I knew you'd come back. It's the two of us. You remember? The shopping mall?
Yes, I remember.
That was the beginning of it all. And now you've come to take over.
No, Duncan. I didn't come back to take over. I just wanted to be with you.
Counted on you. You deserted me. No one to talk to. Need you here in Washington.
Duncan, I had to live my life.
And leave me to do it all by myself. Yeah, it's too late. Everything is too late. Now get out of here. I got a lot of work to do.
Community's expanding. We've got to expand with it.
But if you're wrong, I could lose a lot. Everything, maybe.
I'm not wrong, Mr. Calderwood.
said it to you a long time ago. And it's as true now as it ever was. I've loved you ever since.
What it amounts to is sexual advances to my wife and an unprovoked assault on my person.
Wesley?
Well, it goes without saying that Wesley has been expelled. All right, fella. Go to your room and pack. Now, I don't wish St. Timothy subjected to unhappy scandal. Nor do I think it the kind of publicity a senator's family should have.
Very generous of you.
You've always been a devoted patron of St. Timothy's.
How much?
There is no need to put it quite so crudely.
Frankly, I think the whole thing is pretty crude. I'd like to speak to Mrs. Martindale.
That is absolutely out of the question. She's under doctor's care, very close to a nervous breakdown.
Is she?
Yes, most upsetting.
You sit there, and you tell me that Wesley is some kind of a sex-crazed thug. I don't believe it.
I beg your pardon.
He's no angel. But he's not Mac the Knife either.
If you intend to take that attitude,
You'll what?
Gotcha! Marty.
Oh, my God.
Antonio. Hey, your little brother. Hey, it's Tony. I scared you, huh?
Oh, you scared the life out of me.
Just like always kids, huh?
Oh, you never change. You come, you go. I never hear a word from you. When did you get back?
I just got off the boat this morning.
And your eye? What happened to your eye?
That was a long time ago. I got in a fight with this girl on board ship.
That's terrible.
I beat the hell out of him for it. And then we made port in France. And it turns out that he's got this rich, big-shot brother senator from Washington. And he got me thrown in jail.
In jail?
5 years. Yeah. 5 years. 5 years in that stinking hole, caged up like an animal. And if I open my mouth, they put me in solitary. And they put these handcuffs on me, and then they put the wires on me, and then they give me these electric jolts, and I can't hit back, and I can't do nothing! Nothing!
You're with me now. I'll take care of you. I'll take you to a doctor. I'll get your eye fixed.
There's nothing to fix. It's out. I have no eye. Hey, Maria. How's it with you, huh? What you doing? What? You still a bookkeeper?
Different place from the last time you saw me. This one's an import house of Italian groceries, olive oil, cheese.
Hey, well, let me tell you. Let me tell you one thing. 12 years at sea. 12 years at sea, I learned one thing. Boy, if you're working stiff, they treat you like garbage.
You want something? A glass of wine? I've got some wine.
Big shot senator. Got the connections. Thinks he can do anything he wants and get away with it. Yeah, I'm here with a hole in my head. He's walking around somewhere. And he thinks he's got it made.
Anthony.
5 years. 5 years he kept me caged up like an animal. And he thinks that's the end of it. El futuro senatori. To the future.
What do you mean I'm pushing you? I'm not pushing you. Look, all I'm asking is what you promised me when we were in Nam. To introduce me to that guy from the record company. All right, so introduce me to somebody else. You said you had lots of pals in the record business. Hey, now listen, dude, you made me a promise. Now you better not back... Murphy. Murph.
Sit down. If it's of any interest, I didn't swallow too much of Martindale's story. Married woman in her 30s gets involved with an 18-year-old boy. I have some idea who did the seducing. You know what this is? This is the check from Mr. Martindale to get your record squared.
It's my mess. There's no reason you should take the rap.
You're right. You're right. Okay, now, how do you propose to get into another school?
I don't. You're the one that picked St. Timothy's. It wasn't my idea. You think someplace else would be any different? A bunch of kids turning themselves into nervous wrecks, beating their brains out all to get grades that'll satisfy Mama and Papa.
And get themselves an education.
I know a dozen dudes up there that are going to shrinks. At least 3 who have ulcers. One guy who committed suicide because he flunked geology. Geology.
All right, if you don't go to school, what do you plan on doing?
Get a job.
At what?
Digging ditches, working on a dump truck, anything.
What, for $2 an hour?
I can do fine on $2 an hour.
For how long? At 18, sure, you can live on pizza. What are you gonna do when you're 25? You have a wife and kids to support, and you're still good for nothing but digging ditches.
What's wrong with working with your hands? I like working with my hands. I don't consider it lower than sitting in some stupid office.
What do you know about working in an office, or any place else for that matter? You never had to work a day in your life.
No, what about when I worked on the boat with my father? At least he was one guy who did what he felt like, not what other people expected of him.
You think you know all about your father,
I
don't
lived
you?
with
Well,
him.
so did I from the day he was born. And I can tell you Tom Jordache did a lot of dumb, destructive things in his life.
Just leave my father out of it.
You're the one who brought him into it. I'm just telling you, don't treat him like a legend. He was human. He hurt a lot of people, including himself. If you're gonna copy him, don't copy the destructive parts of him. Look, there's certain rules in this house. I expect you to follow them. To conduct yourself like a human being. As long as you're under my roof, you're gonna do what I tell you.
Like hell I will.
Where are you planning on going?
I don't know.
Okay. Wes, you want to get a job? Okay, you can work around here. Wesley, don't go. I don't want you to go. I need you.
Are you hungry? Starve me.
Hi. I was wondering if you're still taking in boarders. You said I had a standing invitation.
Come in.
Billy, Wes. Hi. How's it going? Well, be it ever so humble, there is no place like home.